Dylan Wright joined Real Madrid for 100 million euros and ended up scoring 50 goals for the club. It looked like Dylan was finally going to accomplish his dream of winning the UEFA Champions League, but at the end of the season, Dylan Wright left Real Madrid. Did he leave because he won the Champions League, or was there another reason? And which club did he go to? Stay tuned to find out. Dylan Wright and Real Madrid continue their journey to the top of world football against Real Betis, where Dylan Wright ends up scoring the first free kick of his career. And later on into the game, Dylan Wright scores one more goal in open play to seal the fate of Real Betis and to increase the momentum of Real Madrid. Hopefully that game gave Real Madrid enough momentum to finally put away Borussia Dortmund at the Estadio Santiago Bernabeu. And it seemed like it had, as despite Dylan not having much of an impact, he just let Rodrigo and Vinicius shine, and eventually they scored the winning goal to put Real Madrid through to the quarterfinals. Perhaps Dylan will now have to realize that he has to trust his teammates more and realize that Real Madrid is not a one-man show. But that proves to be difficult since for the whole season he's been the one who's been used to scoring all the goals and winning all the games for Real Madrid. And this would prove to be the case against Athletic Bilbao, as Dylan Wright was able to score a hat-trick, but not on his own, with Vinicius and Dani Ceballos chipping in to give Dylan a hat-trick and Real Madrid the 3 points. European glory would come calling once again, and this time Real Madrid would have to face off against Tottenham Hotspurs in the Champions League quarter-final. It seemed like an expected and easy win for Real Madrid, but once more the team struggled to gel together. This caused Dylan to get frustrated and angry, and it caused him to have a quite quiet game at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Benzema's words have definitely instilled a bit of fear into Dylan Wright's head, and considering how things have gone with Dortmund and Tottenham, who's to say that Dylan's concern is without much valid reason? Even the second leg ends 0-0 at 120 minutes, with Tottenham being the ones more likely to win the game, but Real Madrid held on long enough to put it to a penalty shootout. Dylan Wright was the first one to step up, and he made sure that he put his penalty deep into the top left-hand corner. But the way the penalty shootout was going, it seemed like Real Madrid was going to go through. But you can never predict a penalty shootout while it still goes on. So penalties continue being shot over and over and over again, penalty after penalty after penalty, until eventually the fate of Dylan Wright's dream and the fate of this Champions League tie rested into one man's shoulders. And unfortunately for Dylan Wright, the pressure was just too much to carry. So that was it. That is what 58 goals gets you. It doesn't get you a Champions League trophy. It won't even give him the Golden Boot. I mean, sure, they had to face Atletico Madrid for the Copa de España trophy. But in all honesty, Dylan Wright didn't feel like that trophy was going to be enough to fill the hole in his heart. He didn't care about the trophies like the La Ligas, like the Copa de Españas, or like the Super Copas. For his entire career, he's just been searching, he's been yearning for that UEFA Champions League. So yeah, he may look happy to celebrate this, but deep inside, Dylan Wright cannot run away from the disappointment that he's felt this season. Even in a season where he scored 60 goals in his first Real Madrid season, cementing him as not only a La Liga legend, a Real Madrid legend, but just a legend of the game in general at such a young age. But deep down, for Dylan Wright, it's not enough. He knows that he deserves more. He knows that 63 goals deserve more than a quarter-final finish in the Champions League. So heading into Real Madrid's final game of the La Liga season, where they would lift the Liga trophy one more time, Dylan would of course do his duty, score the goals, give the fans something to remember him by. But Dylan had to ask himself, was Benzema right? Would everyone else really drag me down? And more importantly, if I was to leave Real Madrid, where would I go?
I know you told your friend you're not okay. And tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray.
So in the end, we did it. We went back to the club that rejected us at the start of our career. With a new look, Dylan Wright is a Manchester United boy once more. And his first game for his new club would be up against none other than Real Madrid. But this wasn't any type of serious game, it was just a regular old friendly, but for Dylan it meant more. He saw some fans, some Real Madrid fans, the people he left behind. But they left on a rather good note, and to show this, as soon as Dylan Wright scores, he opts not to celebrate, but instead he puts his hands up as a sign of respect. And just like that, his first game for Manchester United, he scores a goal, and he grabs a 1-0 victory. But let's leave pre-season behind, let's leave Real Madrid behind, and head back into the Premier League. It's kind of ironic, to be honest, how Dylan Wright's last game in the Premier League would be an injury against Man United, and his first game back would be with Manchester United against Fulham FC. But Dylan didn't put the injury into his mind heading into this game. No, in fact, he forgot about it. Instead, he just got down to business in the Fulham game, picking up 2 goals, winning United the first 3 points of the season, and winning the hearts of the United fans. The next game on the agenda would be at Old Trafford, Dylan's first game at Old Trafford, where he would pick up 2 goals to give Manchester United the 2-1 victory against Burnley. Up next would be fierce rivals Arsenal, where both Anthony and Dylan Wright picked up a couple of goals to put themselves on the score sheet and give United that clinical edge that they needed to beat Arsenal 2-1, to grab some bragging rights against their bitter rivals and 3 points heading into the next game of the Premier League season. Even during the international break playing for England, Dylan Wright lit a new fire in himself, causing him to become a nightmare not only in club football, but in international football as well, as he would pick up goal after goal after goal, cementing himself as one of the best strikers not only for club football, but looking to become one of the best strikers in English history. The next team on the agenda would be Wolverhampton Wanderers, as Dylan Wright put the Man United shirt back on once more, and in this game, at the Molineux is where Dylan Wright would score his first hat-trick of both his Premier League career and Manchester United career. But it was finally time for European football to return onto the calendar of Dylan Wright, but it wouldn't be Champions League, no, as Dylan had to pay a price to go back to his boyhood club. He would have to spend the season in the Europa League, and he didn't complain much about it. Instead, he tried to revel in the opportunity, scoring a hat-trick in just 20 minutes to put the sword to Bayern Mönchengladbach and win the game 3-1. Going back into Premier League football, we'd face off against one more of our fierce rivals, this time being the London club Chelsea, and in this one Dylan Wright and Anthony would once more share the goals to pick up a win at Old Trafford. Oh yeah, and make sure to subscribe for more content like this. The next team on the agenda would be Nottingham Forest away from home, and once more Dylan Wright would showcase his class in front of net, scoring a brace in open play and putting away the penalty to complete that brace. But Nottingham Forest did try to claw their way back by chipping it over David De Gea, but in the end it meant nothing as we still picked up the 2-1 victory. Click here to watch Joaquim Andrade win the Champions League with PSG, and this is how I found out what Optimus Prime actually looks like.